Hey guys, Michael here from the Shameless Picture Show. I'm here to discuss the picture quality and audio quality on the new 4K Blu-ray of White Christmas. If you want to know what I thought about the film itself, go back and check out part 1. White Christmas was shot by cinematographer Will Griggs. If that name does not sound familiar to you, I completely understand. It's not a very common name. However, he did shoot such films such as The Ten Commandments for Cecil B. DeMille and The Western Shade. So he's no stranger to shooting these big spectacle westerns. One of my lights just went out. What are you gonna do? I'm just gonna run with it. So one thing that's worth mentioning about White Christmas. White Christmas was the first ever film shot in VistaVision. VistaVision was a style of shooting that was very popular in the 1950s through the 60s because it allowed you to do large format film, so widescreen. However, it wasn't like the CinemaScope widescreen, where it was the 3.5 to 1. This came out to be 1.85 to 1. It was shot natively at a 1.96 to 1 aspect ratio. The reason I'm mentioning all of this is because TV was so popular at this time, but the VistaVision was popular because while it wasn't as wide as a CinemaScope, it had a higher resolution and there was no distortion because you could shoot it. You didn't need any special equipment to shoot it, and you didn't need any special equipment to show it because there's a whole process with CinemaScope where you need special lenses. So any theater could show a VistaVision film and it would look incredible. And this film does look incredible. So as I said before, this film is displayed in a 1.85 to 1 aspect ratio and it looks phenomenal. The new Dolby Vision Pass on this is subtle but very beautiful. So as I said, I've seen this movie a couple times before and I've always known it's got great color, but this most recent screening of it just blew my mind for these colors. And I don't know what this film was originally intended to look like, so I can't specify whether or not there's any revisionist coloring going on, but everything feels very faithful. If I've noticed anything, at times I felt like Bing Crosby's face was a little too tan, but I don't think that was the Dolby Vision, because you look at Bing Crosby's face, it's really tan. His hands aren't. I think it's more of a makeup thing. So it's bringing out these natural colors in a really beautiful way, and I was just jaw-dropped the entire time I was watching White Christmas. This is one of the best looking 4K discs I have seen. So White Christmas, when it was released theatrically, had a mono soundtrack. According to IMDb, it was also released in Perspecta stereo. So Perspecta stereo is a form of surround sound. No, I can't really confirm that. I don't know much about Perspecta stereo, nor do I really know what this movie was released in. However, Paramount gives us an option. There actually is a DTS HD mono soundtrack that is the restored theatrical audio mix, and they have a newer, because it was also on the last Blu-ray, a newer 5.1 audio mix, so you have that surround. Now, I went back and forth between the two. The mono soundtrack really does sound incredible. However, I chose to go with the 5.1 mix because I kind of just wanted to be enveloped in the sound. Normally I'm a purist and I try to go for the original theatrical. I felt like I could argue the 5.1 mix because if this Perspecta stereo, which was probably an early form of surround, is accurate, I can make that argument. However, what I will say is the 5.1 mix is pretty front heavy, which is not necessarily a bad thing. If you're going to do a surround mix from a mono source, I want it to be front heavy. I still want it to feel like a mono source, but just opened up a little bit. So the music opened up a little bit. During the opening war sequence, there is some explosions which might have activated my subwoofer, but not by much. I did hear some stuff around me, but it was pretty much a center mix throughout most of it. The biggest difference I noticed was the opening song, where Bing Crosby sings White Christmas. If you watch it on the mono mix, crystal clear. If you watch it on the 5.1 mix, it's still crystal clear, but it's almost like there is some reverb in it. It's almost got an echo to it. And I thought maybe it had something to do with trying to split a mono track into surround. I don't know. It didn't show up anywhere else, but I noticed it during White Christmas. It didn't hurt my enjoyment of the film. I still loved the film. but I wanted to at least mention it. I highly recommend White Christmas. If you're a fan of this movie, it's a no-brainer. If you are unsure about it, this movie's a stone cold Christmas classic. Give it a shot. I highly recommend it. So, thank you guys for watching. If you like what I'm doing, hit that subscribe button. I'll talk to you next time.